Hello, this is the 91st Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2223, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. And before we start putting some more past in podcast, the listeners that listen to all the episodes notice a change?
At least the very two most recent ones, yeah? Last week, or at the end of 2 episodes ago, there were 2 of me.
2 Simons.
Yep, exactly. And then last episode, there were 2 of me the whole time. And now there's just 1 of me again.
So, what happened?
Well, the other one of me has gone off to do something.
You went to do some stuff?
Went to do some stuff. Didn't give more details.
Okay, cool. That makes
it a bit easier.
Yeah, makes it a bit easier. So you don't have to worry a bit much about interrupting yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So then I would say we move immediately over to the topic.
Sounds good.
Because it's a little different, a different approach to technology than we usually have.
Right, we have one of the thing we're about to talk about here with us. We're going to check it out.
And we've occasionally had technology here, like the invisibility cloak or the
graph belt.
Exactly. So what's different about this one?
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But we know it up front.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't actually work.
We've got a non-working model.
Yeah. So what's it called?
It's called the Youngstar. It's a machine that you can use to make yourself, in the name, younger. If you want, you can put it in reverse, make yourself a bit older as well. That's especially useful if you make yourself too young, that you can bring yourself back up to an age you want.
Kind of like balance things out. No, this is a bit too old, this is a bit too young.
Exactly.
And also today I feel like being older or younger or...
Right, what's suitable.
I'm done with school, so I'm making myself older.
Yeah.
And it's, as far as the label is concerned, it's the Youngstar 1, so the very first...
The very first model.
Yeah, so pretty excited.
Saying the very first, really the very first was just called the Youngstar.
Oh, yeah.
This is that same model, but then when they released the Youngstar 2, they retroactively renamed this one. It's just a sticker. It really is the original device.
True, yeah. It's like they've been... what they do every time is when they make a new model, they keep producing the old one, like rebranded a little. Yeah. And at one point when they get to number 3, then they stop making number 1, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's really old. I don't know anymore actually from which year this model would be.
No, it doesn't have, like, some things will have a model year printed on them, but this one doesn't have that.
And also it's not so widespread. I must admit that I actually only heard about these devices like about a year ago or something like that, maybe less even. So they're not so widespread as some of the stuff we've spoken about.
That's true. It's more niche, yeah.
So where do we get it?
There was an office near here, so near the shuttle station, was having, like, closing down, so getting rid of all their old equipment. It was just there on the side of the street, free for anyone to take, so I took it.
Cool. So was you basically with a sign saying free or something like that?
Yeah. And okay, that's why it doesn't work.
Okay.
I guess if it had worked, they would have sold it or done something else with it, but effectively it was just out for scrap. Okay,
and if it was still working, they would have had a bunch of younger and older passerbys and
so on. Especially if someone thought to plug it in right there on the street.
Cool. Was there more stuff?
Office chairs, desks, nothing else that seemed so interesting for our listeners.
Is that where you got the skis?
Yep, those as well.
Okay. I was wondering.
That I didn't think to mention because, again, not so relevant for our listeners.
Okay. Oh, so it's interesting. I wonder do you know what the office was about?
I'm afraid they had some really generic name that didn't tell you what their business was. So, and I never knew what they were even while they were there. So
they had desks and chairs.
Skis, and this.
And this thing.
The Youngstar.
Maybe it was like if you go skiing, it could be, of course, that, maybe you're too old to ski and then the device makes
too
you
young.
younger.
Like the insurance is too expensive because you're still a teenager. Age yourself up. Yeah, I'm a totally responsible 35-year-old. I don't have to pay so much.
And after the skiing trip, you can make yourself your original age again.
Or even on the trip, you want to be a bit younger so that you're more limber, yeah? Not so that you're still flexible. So you make yourself older to sign up for the thing. Then as soon as you leave, the ages off again.
Or maybe it was something like for employees, keep your employees happy. You know, make yourself younger, get the skis, teleport to some glacier, go skiing for lunch, come back, change to your original age, and go back to work.
Right, then it wasn't their business; it was more a perk.
But did it look like? I mean, because like you see less and less offices around, were they like permanently closing, or could you?
I mean, the building didn't look to have any new business moving in.
Okay,
if that's what you mean. The old business, I don't know if they moved somewhere else and this was just stuff they were getting rid of, or if they actually went out of business.
Okay, so maybe they're repurposing the building and they've evicted all the offices.
Could be that as well.
Okay, so our theory is it's no longer working, which is why they put it on the street.
That's well, and so they had the power cable still hanging out the back, but that doesn't seem to plug into anything that we have. So I'm saying it's a power cable. But
that's the cable that is.
That's what I'm assuming it is.
I was wondering because it has those two sticky bits at the end.
Yeah.
But how does that work? How does the power get in the device? I mean, isn't it all?
It's not magnetic like a regular one. You know, I held it up and it didn't stick or anything.
Okay. So maybe that's why it's not working because it's not charged.
That would make sense.
Okay.
But it could also be the thing, it's so old, its batteries no longer hold a charge.
But also, like, because it's now in your apartment, it should, like, auto-charge.
It should do, yeah.
But it's not.
It hasn't done so.
Okay. Shall we explain to our listeners why we even, like, what we plan? Because we try a different setup for the show today, right?
Yeah, that's right. So because it's not working anyway, we figure let's open it up and see what's going on in there. Maybe we're lucky, we see like some loose something that we can just push in more firmly and it will work. That would be nice. But at the very least, let's have a look in there. We'll describe what we see for the listeners.
We do we take unboxing one step further. We don't just unbox it. We actually take the device apart. Because it's not working anyway. We can't break it. It's already broken.
Exactly. Well, what's the worst that could happen?
And then we can basically tell our listeners what's even in these fancy future devices that we always talk about. So they get the real insights. Yeah? Because we always talk about what it does and which color it has. And now we can say what's actually inside.
Yep. Can describe it in great detail.
Shall we first describe what it looks like?
Sure, yeah. The Youngstar itself, the Youngstar one. It's this... it's a bit repetitive maybe. It looks like a big teleporter. Like it's a cabin similar to the teleporters that we saw a couple of weeks ago, in the sense that it's a thing, big enough that a person can go inside. But rather than being something standing up, it's laying down. So, you can get in it, but it's more like a big bathtub rather than like a booth of some kind. I was
surprised about that because it's a little bit more cumbersome to get into. But then I thought, like, if it makes you older and younger...
Yeah, you might want to be laying down rather than standing up when that happens.
Exactly. I guess if you're too young, like, maybe you can't walk anymore. If you're too old, you can't...
Same deal, yeah.
Yeah,
or even, when I would want to use such a thing, I wouldn't want to go to such extremes in age. But maybe just the shock of suddenly going from 60 to 30, for example.
Yeah.
Would make you stumble if you were standing.
Yeah, I guess, your body will really... function differently. And also if it goes wrong and you're too young or too old, then you still want to be not also then falling down.
Sure. And then also like I say, big change in age, your body will behave differently, yeah? So even if you don't stumble in the moment, when you go to take a step, for example, you probably won't be used to your body behave or feeling how it feels. Starting off laying down seems safer.
I can also imagine, and even going from, I don't know, like 20 to 60, or like your body will maybe behave the same, but like mentally there will still be a big shock where it just makes more sense to experience that laying down.
Yeah. And I mean, if you really want to get, if you really insist on standing up, I guess you just prop up the whole thing on its side.
Yeah, that's true actually. And also I was going to say, well, they've put years and years of tests and user experience in that, so they probably knew what they were doing, but this is the first model. So.
Right. In the later models, they'll have had that kind of feedback. I mean, they must have done initial research, but sure, presumably it's changed since this first model.
Yeah. I think what I like about it is that it looks all chrome, right? It's all chrome and rounded. It really looks like a big wash basin in that sense. It's
right. The curviness, especially in the way the chrome surface, all the reflections bouncing off it.
And there's even like this little hole in the middle that even feels like the drain. Although it doesn't look completely like a drain, there are some holes in there though.
Yeah.
So that could, maybe maybe that's describing it like best. Yeah, big bathtub.
Yeah. Sure, and in those holes, it looks, I can see LEDs. It's not on right now, so we can't see what colors they light up, but it would make sense for them to be, multicolor.
Yes, like if you look at it from a slide angle, you do see different color reflections kind of in the glass.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess there's different statuses, or like it's charging or loading or operating or finished or stuff like that.
And I think to go with the chrome, it has these, like the controls are super retro looking, like big big knobs that you can turn and levers that you can push and pull. I'm assuming they're controls.
Yeah, it's also for some of the stuff, I guess it all had a purpose. I guess there's a manual that describes...
Right, they're not labeled, yeah, so you'd need the manual. You'd need to have some training to know how to use it.
I noticed before, like these bits at the side, you can hardly see them, but they slide. Like, I don't know, it's like I can...
Like shower heads, yeah.
I'm standing up now, I hope they can still hear. Like, if you push this, so...
Yep.
See? And then it kind of opens, but then behind it there's more chrome. So
right.
I don't really know what that's for.
No.
Maybe it does something when you do it on all sides or something like that.
Yeah. Right, and it is a bathtub, and there is a huge glass cover over it.
Yeah, good point.
And right now it's open, but it's the kind of cover that you can open and close.
Yeah. It's interesting then. Then you can actually, so for the spectators, they can kind of see what's happening.
Right, and there's bits that look like shower heads, and the bits that look like drains. Maybe there's some liquid involved, like the glass to prevent splashing people nearby.
Or smoke.
Maybe.
Or some sort of gas or vapor.
Humidity.
Exactly that. I mean, we're speculating now, it's not working. I also don't know, like, if the Youngstar, I don't know, I think they're up to whatever, 23 now or so, like, if how the newest models work is still how the old models work.
Right. Or if they're very different.
Exactly. But maybe it's either liquid or gas or so that kind of fills the cabin. Maybe that's why the glass covers there, not just to look, but to contain it inside. I don't know. But then why is it glass?
I mean, it feels good.
Yeah, and it looks good.
Exactly.
It's like it's some really, how do you call it, product design. Like it's a thing where you go like, I don't know what it does, but I want this in my house.
Yeah, right. Even when it's not being operated, it looks nice.
Yeah, it's a nice set piece in your home. Like even if you don't use it, like hey, I have some fancy cool device in the corner. Maybe it's also a bit of a party trick. You know, you do truth or dare or whatever, some party game.
Yeah, right. Like strip poker, but instead of stripping, you get younger or older each time.
Yeah, exactly. Or like now, if we play chess and I get your pawn, or something, then you have to go and get 10 years younger or older or whatever.
It could be used that way.
Okay. Well, it's not working, so we can't find out.
We cannot.
So we were going to take it apart, which means we need to kind of move stuff,
we need
right?
to get on over to it. I'll take the recorder here. Okay, let's have a look. So, do you want to pull it over, or shall I pull it over?
I can. If you are holding the recorder, I can move it more to the middle of the room.
Yeah.
So it's actually lighter than it looks like. So,
but still kind of heavy.
It's kind of heavy, but it's because it looks like this big basin. It's definitely lighter than it looks like, but still heavy, and that's a good summary. So we've got the tools.
Yeah, let's see if we can get to. Here's the cable that we mentioned, but let's throw that aside. Okay.
I can start on this side. So.
Here, maybe this bit. One sec, because I'm holding the recorder, I've only got one hand, but if you pull on this bit while I push this bit.
Okay, let me see if I can find that.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, it's not moving. There we go. Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah, there's some bits. Okay, now I can get to this part.
I think you can take that top panel off, maybe, yeah. Or yeah, after
this. Yeah, okay. So and then now this comes off. Let me. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Okay. Stuff going on. A lot of dust. Whoa, excuse me if I sneeze.
Wow. Okay, so.
Yeah, check out there. See, there's a fan.
Oh, there's a lot of dust.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's why it's not working anymore.
Could be. Maybe if we just let's not blow it out here, but maybe tomorrow in the daytime, I take it outside.
That's
blow out all the dust.
So maybe like if we take these bits out, so from here.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Oh, there were some ladybugs running off.
Yeah. Well, so those ones are alive running around, and then there's a whole bunch of mummified, dried, dead ones down there as well.
I think what looks like a scarab beetle.
Oh yeah. Big golden one.
Okay, so this is kind of crumbling now. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Some, especially these plastic parts down here. Like I just touched that, and it kind of disintegrated as I touched it.
That's true.
I guess that would need replacing.
So if we I think this comes off too. Let me see if I can slide
one sec.
this.
Before you do that, I think that sounded right, and then I think this part lifts up, maybe.
Okay, yeah, I can see it moving.
Maybe. Again, I'm doing it one-handed, so it's a bit tricky.
Okay.
No, I know. Check it out. These bits over here.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay. Wow.
That part comes off, and then let's try this. Yeah. Oh wow.
Okay. Why you look like you know what you're doing?
I mean, there's these handy like arrows on some of the parts. That's where what I'm going on.
I thought maybe. Okay, so but now this one I'm holding this now in my hand, so somehow this is now loose. So let me.
Yeah.
So
we can set it aside. Let's take this bit out here. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. So
and here, like these cables, like
let's pull those out. Maybe they seem unnecessary.
So they have different colors: green, yellow,
black and white.
There's a stripe one. Okay, and it's also there's some bugs have been nibbling.
There's some writing, but the writing's so degraded I can't make it out.
Yeah. Okay, so there's some computer chips. I'm not really sure how to describe them.
No, I think there's some more under here. Let me move that again. Oh, okay, this is really... No, okay, I'm not going to... I know it's broken, but I don't want to hurt myself,
Yeah, I can imagine.
Put that back.
And it's also like... I don't know what this device is. It says...
what is that?
UHDT adapter. UHDT?
I don't recognize the acronym.
Universal... No, I'm just making stuff
like that. Sure.
There's a bunch of numbers
but there is
on
an adapter. Yeah, here right, it says a bunch of specifications, I guess.
Well, there's something here. Well, some of this is in teraflops.
Wow.
But this is really old.
Super old.
Okay, so that's also this device has a super tiny capacity.
Yeah, and computing power.
Hold on, you see there's this...
It doesn't need that much, it's just for making you younger and older.
This part is glowing.
Oh yeah, right. A bit of green there. Hey, but it must have its own, it's not plugged in, so it must be having either its own battery or a capacitor that's still charged or something. So
let me... Okay, if I can see... Wow, this is heavier than I thought.
Oh yeah, much. I can see how you're straining with it. Can I have a feel?
Yeah.
Wow, it weighs like maybe 10 times from what you'd expect how it looks.
Oh, and it's also... It looks kind of more like a rocky bit. But when you touch it, it feels like metal.
Yeah.
See, let me put this down here.
Yeah.
Oh, so it has a bit of a ring to it even. See, like it sounds metal, but it looks like a rock.
Indeed, yeah. Like it looks like, I can't place it. Scandium, no? Does it look like scandium? Like raw scandium, yeah, not refined. Oh, what's that?
Is that the recorder or?
No. I've not heard that before.
So, can you move it away from the...
Oh, yeah. Okay, and then it stopped. Oh, no, it's still going?
Yes, but can you move it closer again?
Oh, there it is again.
No, it's like...
It doesn't seem to be... It's not related to how close the recorder is. Yeah, there's something else going on. Oh, there it is again.
I see, as if you hold it close to the rock, and I move it away from the rock.
Okay. Ah, yeah. Well, now that's... And wait.
No, it stopped.
It just stopped. But look, I'm putting it right next to it and there's nothing.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if this is related to the rock or not, but it did feel like when you moved it closer.
It got louder.
Okay.
It got louder on the recording, but I mean, got louder in the room for us.
Okay. Oh, cool. That's so far the coolest part. So I'm seeing now the bottom now that I've removed the green thing.
Yeah.
And there's the adapter that we spoke about before.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like we've removed some of the cables. Like you can see that LEDs now in the side, right?
Sure.
From the other side.
Yeah. I see them here.
Yeah.
There's some on the side and some on the back here.
Okay. And there's this empty canister. I guess maybe that was for the liquid or the gas or whatever.
It looks like it should contain something, but right now it's completely empty.
Yeah, and there's this opening at the side. I guess that's maybe where you could fill it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if it was like used for the actual younger or older making, or it was used to power the device.
Yeah, maybe it was like air freshener.
Yeah.
I guess aging, you might get a bit smelly, so something to keep the air fresh.
But I don't see any index or any magnetic devices or so.
No,
so that explains why it's not charging even though it's in your apartment.
Yeah, right. It doesn't have the hookup.
Okay, so I'm not sure, like we tried to describe everything that we saw.
Yeah, I think we did a good job in that regard.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was interesting to our listeners.
It also came apart really fast.
Yeah, that was nice, yeah. Some things, they're really hard to open up. You need special screwdrivers or equipment.
Yeah, we did come prepared a little bit.
We did. We have all kinds of equipment, but then, there were these bits with arrows that you could just slide and bits came off.
Yeah. I was thinking you remember the toy card you had, like the green thing that we just took out.
Yeah.
Maybe that seemed like a bit of a charging device.
So this one here, here's the car.
Exactly. So I was thinking we can put the green thing on the car to see maybe it's like the Youngstar one was broken, but we can try to see if it powers the car.
It's a good idea.
If it's
worth a try.
If it's even a power device. So
sure.
Okay. And let me grab it and then stick it on here.
That looks good. Looks legit.
So okay.
But I mean the car.
I'm moving it with my hand now.
Yeah, sure, but it's not moving under its own power like it should.
No, exactly. So normally, because it's in your because normally it should charge and should basically drive around by itself the whole time.
You double tap it on the roof like this. See, and it's meant to then go driving around the room by itself, like investigating and whatnot, but nothing's happening.
But
it's glowing a little, yeah.
It's turning green under the green rocky thing.
Yeah. I mean, that looks nice.
Oh yeah. It's like it's spreading over your car.
Mm-hmm. So maybe it's not a power source. Maybe it's like a paint job. Like you put it on things to just change their color. I mean, I don't know why that would be inside the Youngstar here, but
look at my hands.
Oh, your hands are going green too. Yeah, where you were touching it there.
Where I was grabbing it.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, my finger where I was tapping the roof just a second ago. Also, my finger's going green.
That is pretty cool.
That's really nice.
But it's not spreading beyond the car, so it's staying within the car.
Yeah, not going across the floor here.
And also it's fading across my wrist, so it's just my hand that's turning.
Yeah, exactly. See, just my finger down to the first knuckle.
Okay. See, okay, I'm going to try now. I'm touching it with my wrist.
Okay, so a bit more green on you.
So, yeah.
Cool.
That's actually nice.
Seems useful, yeah? Like, okay, we don't have a working Youngstar, but when we want, we can make things green.
We can call it the paint rock.
Mm-hmm. The green rock.
The green rock.
Mm-hmm. So, at least so far it's only doing green. We work out how to do other colours.
Yeah. Maybe there's more than just paint. Maybe give something special features or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's why maybe that's why it's broken. Or maybe that's why this decommissioned one.
Maybe it's not meant to turn people green. You can imagine people go in there to get younger and they come out also, sure they're younger, which is nice, but they're all green, like the Jolly Green Giant. Okay, that would for some folk that wouldn't have been so nice.
Give me a minute. But then I guess if that's the case, they wouldn't be allowed to just put it on the street. No.
Yeah. Well, maybe they weren't doing things legit there.
Mm-hmm.
If they went out of business.
Cool. There's like it's now to my elbow is now green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I think for our audio listeners, this is maybe less exciting. For us, it's really exciting.
Mm-hmm. I don't say that. I'm sure. I mean, I know what you mean because they can't see what we're seeing, but we describe things.
Yeah, it's true. We do that.
It's really exciting for them too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any closing comments here on the Youngstar one?
I guess so. Let's not put it back together now.
Yeah.
You do that another time. Let's keep this little bit of green stuff out.
Yeah,
Use
play
it
with it a
outside.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's about it.
This was fun for us. Shall we mention...
Wrap things up.
Yeah, let's do that.
So folk in the past who are listening to this and want to let us know things that we maybe didn't tell you that you'd like to know, that's a bit of a long-winded way of saying, please email us at michaellasagna5@gmail.com. Put the number 91 in the subject line so that we know this episode went back in time successfully. And like I mentioned, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those too.
Definitely. Okay. Then, thanks for listening and see you in 200 years. Bye-bye.